In Paris? What the fuck is our
Cuddling in
name?
Paris.
Cuddling in Paris. Yeah. What is the name of our...
Coloring. It's recording.
Is it Coloring in Paris?
It's recording.
It's Coloring Paris.
Oh, Coloring
Cuddling.
Paris. Okay. Fuck. It's been a while.
It's just over where you love me. Makes me wanna love you too. Maybe I go out to love you. Maybe I go run and hide. Someone told me that your love is real and you just wanna come and vibe. You see things that I don't see. Maybe you love me more than me. You they make my head spin round and round. You should stray from my heart. Is this some type of game you play? 'Cause I might be feeling you too.
So this is how I find out you guys don't listen to all this.
Welcome to Coloring Paris, a podcast where we discuss our experiences as international students of color in this lovely city of Paris. First, I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. Hi, I'm going to be the moderator of this episode. My name is Anne, and I am a PhD student.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Raven from the Philippines. Woohoo!
I'm Tiffany. I'm not sure why we're introducing ourselves again. This is not our first episode.
Hi, it's Adom. Can we go on, please?
0 fucks were given.
So, over the last season, we discussed topics like finances, biggest cultural shocks, moving to this country, and a lot of other things that would be helpful for other students of color. But the one thing we haven't discussed so far is dating as a person of color in this wide-ass city.
You think it's white, but it's the most diverse city in the country, I'm telling you.
Yeah, honestly. Go anywhere else, you'd be like, oh, fuck, I was wrong.
You know, when I went to Prague,
Mm.
there were so many Indians there. There was
Really?
yeah, we could count off our fingers. Like every nook and corner, there's like one Indian for some reason. Most of them are tourists. Prague is just cheap
Oh, okay.
Right.
So,
compared
like, a
to
lot of
other
people go.
countries, and fancy looking countries. Prague is
I'm
cheap.
not gonna lie, I wouldn't have thought of Prague as a central hub for the Indian culture, but okay.
I mean,
Yeah, no, Prague is like the party scene for rich bougie Indians.
Prague was kind of popular in the 2010s. Like, it was like the go-to place for people that wanted to experience Europe. So,
Oh, I thought it was like the low rent, like European tour trip thing that you do when you're broke.
That is also there.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So today we're going to be discussing dating as a person of color. I have a few questions prepared to lead this conversation in the right direction.
Nervous laugh.
I'm sweating. Oh. was just
My
coughing.
first question is, what is the biggest cultural shock that you received with respect to dating someone from your home country to France?
Coming here, it's just different because people's skins, their skin color is different. And even though people try to say that they don't pay attention to all of those things, like, it kind of colors the experience that you have with people. There's a lot of fetishization of black people. There's a lot of unhealthy expectations imposed on black people, especially Africans and African men. That is what I know, and that's what I'm talking about. So it's just a different ball game here, I guess.
Tiffany?
I will agree. I've definitely had some fetishization, but I usually get it as more like, oh, you're an American. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just like, thanks. And a little bit for like being black. I find it's more like the casual racism that gets me. I'm like,
From your dates?
yeah,
For
like it's not like offensive shit, but just very casually. Like I remember I was talking with this guy and he sent me like, oh, I'm going to a costume party, and he sent me like a traditional like I don't know what they're called, like the Indian garb that men wear. What are they called?
Kurtas?
Yeah, he had bought one. He was wearing it. That was his like costume, and he was like, "Oh, do you have a sari? You can wear it, and then we'll be like an Indian couple." And I'm like,
That was his costume?
"Yes,
To be dressed in a sari and a jubba?
yes." He wanted me to wear a sari, and I'm like, what?"
Oh my god.
Problematic.
It's so casual, and he was just like casual about like, "Yeah, like we'll make like a cute couple," and I'm like, you know I'm not Indian, bro, and you're not Indian, right? Okay.
He was French.
Yeah.
See, one thing I find about Frenchmen is they're obsessed with Asian culture. It's weird. I think it's like an European thing where like everybody is obsessed with Asian culture, especially Japanese culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so fucking weird and creepy.
East and Southeast Asian.
Oh man.
Because it's exotic
Yeah.
from their
And-
words.
Which is even funnier because all those exotic countries have like 10 times the population any of these European countries have. So if anybody, it's white people that's
Exotic.
exhausting. Exotic.
Wow.
Exhausting.
Exhausting.
They are exhausting.
They are.
Well, they are exhausting.
Cut that out.
No.
Raven.
Okay, for me, fetish is
Fetishization.
whatever.
Yeah.
That happens so much. Like, they immediately, when they see you're Asian, they automatically assume you're like submissive and you're like, ooh, you're like an anime girl or something like that. And then,
I want that as like my screensaver.
and I remember, like, I went on a first date one time, and then he asked me if I wanted to, you know, chill,
I don't know.
chill,
Okay.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
Mhm.
And I said, it's my first time meeting you. Like, I don't think I can go to your place immediately. Because what if you kill me? Then no one
yeah.
would know.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what? You're like waiting for marriage or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dudes here are so pushy. They're like, it's like, oh, we've had like a beer. Do you want to go fuck? And I'm like, okay. Beer.
But that's crazy, man. So I was speaking to a few of the Indian women that I know here, and especially the ones who are working in supermarkets or, you know, places of service. The one thing she pointed out was that if a French man comes and hits on them and they say no, men are like, oh, okay, cool, chill. But if like a brown man comes and hits on them, they don't take no for an answer.
I mean, back home, they still don't take no for an answer,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah,
shouldn't
true,
expect
true,
it to be that different.
Mm.
I will say, like, considering like the stereotype of French men being like a little aggressive, I don't find them aggressive. They're just like very like bold and direct about like, what do you mean we can't fuck? Like,
Intense. They're very
Yeah.
intense, yeah.
and self-absorbed.
My next question was on fetishes. What is the one weird fetish-related incident that you have come across since your time here? Since we are all exotic. We
Yeah,
are
we're in a spice
exhaustingly
rack.
exotic.
We're in a spice rack, so who wants to...
I'm cinnamon.
Wait,
Salt
have
and
you seen,
pepper.
have you seen that song, the TikTok girls? Hello, Christ.
Yes,
I'm about
I
to
want
sing again. I said I love you to this
that
woman.
man.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm made of sugar, spice, conditioner.
What is that?
Wait, I'm made
my
of sugar,
God.
spice, cologne,
Caniculon and cinnamon. Yeah.
Okay, I'm hot chili.
For a second, I was like, is that the line in the song?
No, it's not. It's
So
not.
tell me, what
So
is
that's your
the
shipper name. Okay, hot
weirdest
chili.
fetish you have heard from someone or it has happened to you and you were like, what the?
I mean, I've had a few times where people automatically start talking about genital size as soon as I mention that I'm from Ghana. They're like, "Oh, I heard Africans have like." So can you show me yours? Do you? Or what? How big is it? And then it's always like block from there because I'm gonna block you immediately. But yeah, it happens very often actually. Super weird.
What about you, Tiffany?
I don't know if I've had like a traumatizing fetishization. No, not really. No, I just get like the like assumption. Like one, if I say I lived in Japan for a long time, they're always just like, "Ooh, like, no. Yeah, ooh, type of bullshit." And I'm like, okay. I don't think I've had anything like traumatizing. No. I'm good. Sorry, you.
For me, aside from the uwu
Expectation.
expectations that I can't meet, sometimes I meet them.
Like, if
Then
I
how
like them,
dare we blame them? How dare we?
you need to be an independent woman, okay?
Yeah. Well, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Your fetishization trauma.
I know. Maybe it's the assumption that when you're from Southeast Asia or like from developing countries in general, and you're dating in Europe, they automatically assume you're after their money.
I am.
See, I am not after the money. I am after your passport.
Yeah, there's a difference. I'm after their passport too.
That's what I
I
want.
want both. Why am I limiting myself?
Well, yeah, that's what they say. Like, oh, you're after a passport, bro, or something like that. Like, no, I'm good.
I am.
You are
actually.
okay. Good for you.
All joking aside, like, I don't think I would marry someone for a passport here, just because it doesn't really make it that much easier.
Yeah,
You can just
yeah.
graduate and get it, so it's
Exactly.
fine.
Yeah, because you need to be married for 4 years.
Yeah,
5 actually.
5.
It's 5?
Yeah, it's 5.
Oh, damn.
So 3 years after the marriage, you can apply, but then you have to maintain that marriage for 5 years in order to keep it. I don't know why I said that. It sounds like I looked into it. Anyway.
I think when I talk about fetishes, for me, the one thing I came across last year was that the same French guy swiped right on me and 3 other of my Indian friends. And
type.
yeah, and the weirdest thing is there were like 2 white girls who were with us when we were swiping.
Mm-hmm.
They swiped right on him, but he did not swipe right on them, but he swiped right on the rest of us.
One thing that I've learned like about the people here is when they have a type, they have a type.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't diversify.
Nope.
Nope.
They have a type and
True.
they're sticking with it to the grave. It's quite interesting.
I had the same experience. Like, I remember I stopped talking to someone, and then I learned that they're seeing someone new, and it's also a Filipina girl from the Philippines. Like, still there. I'm
Yeah.
here. She's there, and she won. She won. I'm like, bro.
She'll
does
get the
she
papers
want
first.
him? I don't want him, but like, I'm just like,
It
Yeah, no,
still
it's
hurts a little
weird.
bit.
Yeah, it is weird.
just cut that out.
No, I will
No,
not.
that's great. That's
No,
going up on
that's
Instagram.
that's a good
That's
story.
not real.
Yeah, no, and there's somebody that I matched with some time ago, and they're white, and then I matched with them. We had like a great conversation, met up. It was fun, and then we haven't seen each other in a while, and then I stumbled across their Instagram, and then like I follow, and every Instagram story they post is with another black guy, and there's a different black guy in their life every other week, and it's
Ooh.
very
That's-
uncomfortable.
Problematic.
It's exactly like I don't feel uncomfortable for the other black guys. I feel uncomfortable for myself because it feels like it doesn't feel nice being reduced to just a type.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I have to ask, like, how are you guys like finding your dates? Like, what app or how are you doing it?
I mean, Tinder works.
I find Tinder just has trash in it. Like, it's like wading through a dirty river trying to find a fish and
See,
just
that-
pulling up like
During the
fucking trash
summer,
bags.
all the beautiful people are on Tinder. But during the winter, go to Bumble.
Yeah. Because the winters is when you need genuine cuddling.
What about Hinge?
Who the fuck uses Hinge?
Me? I found marriage. I'm just kidding.
Hinge, the tagline of the app itself is the app that is meant to be deleted.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I deleted
feel
it after
nobody,
like a
yeah,
week.
I'm like nobody uses it.
I installed it and then I deleted it.
Yeah, I also just don't like the interface of it. Like,
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. I feel like compared to all the apps, Bumble has the easiest interface.
No,
Yeah.
I do not.
Really?
Bumble has like a time limit on the matches that you get.
yeah, that
After
is the
24
so
hours,
true.
it's going to
annoying
disappear.
thing.
No, I don't like that.
Which is good.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
No,
Because if you're really interested in someone, you will text them.
See, I
you
don't
think
like.
that, but
One thing I also don't like about Bumble is when you match with a woman, it's up to them to make a move first. So you can like match with 100 women, and if none of them are able to check their phone within the 24-hour period, It's
Oh,
zero.
trust me, they are checking their phones. They're just not
Wow.
texting you at all.
Wow. That hurts.
I hate
That
to say it, but
hurts.
it's probably true.
Oh my god.
I've accidentally matched with so many people. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna let that expire.
I know.
You ever fuck up and swipe right? You're like, ah.
Yeah, so
I mean, if,
I want to
like-
build on this
Yeah.
because I remember back in India, one of the complaints that a lot of men in my circles had was the fact that they couldn't text the girl on Bumble first. And because of this, and they found this principle, this rule as sexist. What Bumble was trying to do was making sure that women don't get unsolicited dick pics or, extremely crass messages.
There is a way to address that, and I think Tinder has done that. You cannot send pictures in the app.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bumble you can call and video call as well.
You can call and video call on Tinder as well, but you cannot send pictures unless you pay for the premium, I think, which I'm never paying for, by the way. So I feel like Bumble could adopt that and allow people to send. Because, I mean, if you swiped right on me because I look good, but then you're not convinced enough to, like, reach out to me first, I could reach out and say something that might change your mind. Who knows? I could be your forever.
Oh, that was actually pretty good. But I will say, usually if I like swipe on someone, I'm like just going off of pictures. I'm like, oh, okay, you're cute, and I'll check it later. And
Yeah.
then either I forget and it expires, or I go back and then I'm like, you have fucking nothing on your profile to talk about. Well,
See,
This is
yeah.
why you read the bios.
sometimes I'm just
They're dry
I'm
as
just
fuck.
horny. I'm like, oh yeah, no. But also they're dry as fuck. Or it's like emoji. I'm like that. Okay.
One of my friends keeps posting these Bumble bios she finds. They're fucking hilarious.
Oh, is it Hinge, the one that allows you to upload voice messages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Bumble you as well.
Hinge too,
now
I
you can
think,
do
yeah.
that in Bumble too.
Hinge, yeah,
Yeah, Hinge.
specifically.
Yeah, Hinge. does.
Hinge, it's just basically for people who are ugly but have a nice voice and they can be, it's my shot.
Yeah.
I feel like Tinder is just where everyone goes when they want to fuck, and that's okay. But sometimes it's like, can I get a little bit of substance, just like a smidge? And then Bumble is where everyone goes when they're like wanting a relationship. I'm putting that in air
Right.
quotes. And then there's just Hinge. So
How important is dating someone from your own culture to you?
not at all.
It's important to me that at least we have, like, even if we were not from the same country, we have the similar values, like importance given to family, something like that. And yeah.
But I think like you can have shared values across different cultures. I don't think it's very few things are specific to just one or two cultures.
True. But also, like, I don't know. Like, in the West, I would say people are like, when you're 18 and stuff like that, you're like out of the house. You're independent.
But that's just an American thing.
Maybe. It's also like a European thing. you know?
I mean,
Not as much as
Not
it's
as much
in-
as American.
But yeah, I would say, like, yeah, maybe similar values, similar culture, but not necessarily like from the same country or from the same region, I would say.
Right.
Well, I mean, you're dating your male twin, so
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Adom?
Yeah, when I got here at first, I was really interested in getting to know people that might have the same cultural or geographical background as I do. But now I feel like my what's the word? Like outlook has expanded a bit more. Just looking to meet people that share the same values, the same honestly, like, what do you think about social justice? Do you think racism is real? Do you think people are oppressed?
True.
You know,
Yeah.
do you think as a white woman, do you have privilege? Like things like that. They're important to me. So yeah, that's what I'm looking out for. At least we have to share the same like social values, the same concepts of what social justice is, the same concepts of equality and equity, all of those things. Yeah.
So, say in this field of intercultural dating,
Yeah.
what would be your deal breaker?
Let me go first.
okay, go ahead.
I've ghosted someone because she had an argument with me on our first date that reverse racism is real and she was black.
Oh.
I didn't reply her messages again. I didn't see her again. That's a complete deal breaker for me, because what the fuck do you mean reverse racism is real? She wasn't even willing
Was this
to
girl
listen.
American?
No, she's actually Caribbean. Her dad is from the Caribbean and her mom is from West Africa. And I'm like, do you know your history? Like, what are you telling me?
I think that one might be just confused. Maybe she got dropped as a baby or something.
Shout out.
Because I was like,
What's it? Dropped babies. Shout out to all the dropped babies out there.
please don't drop
To
your
the girl, to
babies.
the girl, not the baby.
Yeah, no, because I was like, why do you think a black person in Europe can be racist to a white person in Europe? Like, why do you think that's real? She's like, no, we're doing the same things to the white people as they did to us. I'm like,
What?
bro. I just quickly finished
Did
my...
you go and colonize someone and
Look,
rip
I just
them
finished
apart?
my cup of hot chocolate and I was like, see you later. I never saw her later.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty big offense. I think I would ghost for that
Yeah,
too.
no.
No, yeah.
What about you?
A deal breaker. Okay, apparently I have very low fucking standards.
Now
Because that Indian story, still seeing that guy. Anyway,
No, Tiffany, do you love yourself?
he bought me a €15 cocktail, bro. I'll come back. I'll come back.
Fuck. This is why they say that we're after their money.
I mean, we actually are. So.
I mean, I'm not the gold standard. I'm just saying, like, I'm a basic ass hoe. I'm like the good. You got a little bit of money. Okay. You can wear that. It's fine. No, we actually did have a serious conversation about it later, but
So no deal breakers.
no, like that bullshit about
Uh-huh.
like reverse racism, that would be a no for me. I guess you just need to have at least a level of understanding where you don't have to be completely aware or woke. Like, I'm totally fine to have the conversation. It can be very annoying sometimes. And honestly, a bit tiring to have to constantly explain to someone like your point of view. Whereas like if you're dating someone from your own like ethnicity or background, they just kind of get it because they have that
True.
same lived experience.
Well, this one didn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one didn't. Usually they do. But so I'm okay to be with someone who's at least willing to listen, even if they don't understand completely. So I guess for me, that's like my barrier. Like,
Yeah.
you need to at least be open.
What about you?
Well, same with me. Like, as long as you're not homophobic and racist and sexist and a lot of those, similar themes.
Damn, you just cut out like half the population.
Any hint of that, you're out.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah.
And broke.
And but I'm broke.
I know, that's why you can't be broke. Only one of us can be broke in this relationship, and it's me.
Because I am the student.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Down a beat, I hold you up. I know I met you. Last Saturday night, heads in the clouds, somehow how we bet, boo. Love when you vex too. For a minute, was your ex true? And I'ma be standing here trying to get through whatever they do. Out here. If only you're feeling like how I'm really feeling then. Bubbly inside, I can feel alive. Can't really copy that. I ain't get it all, but she give me rides. I know the waiting be good to battle, but my in love and be sunshine.
I think for me personally, I tried, but I For me, I was unable to connect with anyone that doesn't come from my culture.
Hmm.
And see, I'm coming from India. There are like a gazillion cultures in India itself.
Yeah.
So when I met my current boyfriend, it was crazy to me because I met someone from the same community. We spoke the same languages. We had the same interests and everything. And I never met him in India, even though we were like 2 hours away from each other. And we met once we were here. So for me, that was a really strong point because I try to speak to other people from other cultures. But it's like there are just some Indian things you cannot explain. They just gotta know.
True. Yeah.
So I feel like language and cultural hold a lot of value for me in how I am with a person. When you go out on a date, how do you split the bill? Is it different from what's in your home country and what's here? Or do you have like a different personal philosophy for it? Or have you noticed something out of the ordinary about splitting the bill?
I'm a feminist. I'm gonna say that. And then nothing I say after that will reflect that. But just want you guys to know I'm a feminist. Go pussy.
Go pussy. That's your feminist motto. Gosh.
Works, man.
Yeah. So when I go out on a date, and if it's a heterosexual date, okay, so me as a woman and with a man, okay, I bring my wallet with my card, and it is ready to be pulled out of my bag if necessary. And I make sure I don't order the most expensive thing on the menu.
Yeah, that's considerate.
And I know, like, okay, if I'm going to spend 20 euro tonight, I don't order more than that because I need to be able to cover it. When the check comes, I'm going to reach, like, I'm going to pay. And I'm like, do you want to split this? If you say yes, this is our last fucking date. And I will be like, here you go.
So you would prefer it if your potential partner pays for you?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how long it took me to get ready? Like, yes, please pay for me. Also, it just shows like a certain level of like generosity that I really appreciate. So if you're not even willing to like, and also like, I usually, if we go out for dinner or something, we're not going to the fanciest place. If you can't even afford to like splurge on the first date to get to know me, and you know me, I'm fucking awesome. There's no future
Yeah,
here.
true.
See, like I'm a good time. Okay.
What
So
about
I've already got you a good time. You need to show me a good time, or we're probably not gonna have a second date.
Fair enough. What about you, Adam?
Most of the time when I mention that I'm a student, the people that I go out with want to pay for some reason, and I let them pay because I'm poor. But there have been times where I've also paid for people even though they've offered to pay or whatever. And I guess it depends on how much money I have in my account and the mood. If I don't like you, we're splitting. If you like me more than I like you, you're paying. If I like you more than you like me, I'm paying.
I will say I don't make people pay. If I know this isn't gonna be a second date, I'll pay for myself. I'm not that mean.
Yeah, I've had people pay for stuff and I never saw them again. I feel bad for like 1 minute, but then you're paying me for... I spent time, come on.
This was therapy, bro. Like, you need to...
Yeah, no, I spent time, so tit for tat. Let's go.
Riven, what about you?
Well, I would say like it's 50-50 for me. Like, for example, if we go out now and you pay, the next time I'll make sure I'll offer to pay, something like that. Because especially if we're both students, like for me, for my situation right now, we're both students, so we're splitting.
Well, I mean, yeah,
and
that
I
makes
like
sense.
It, yeah.
Like, if you're... But that's why I don't date broke dudes.
We're two broke people, so
Yeah, it works.
I think the philosophy I've always had in my head is if the other person's a student and I'm working, then I will never ask that other person to pay.
Yeah.
And I kind of expect the same. If I'm a student and the other person's working, then they shouldn't be asking me to pay.
The shade. Oh, damn.
is this person in the room right now?
Blink twice if you need help.
No, but I've never had a time where I've asked someone to like pay for something. It's mostly they volunteer when I'm like, oh, so I'm a student, I'm doing my master's, I'm a foreigner. And they automatically assume that if you're from Africa and you're a student, you're poor, which is
True.
largely true, but I don't want you to assume, you know? So they just offer to pay, and I'm like, okay, cool, thanks.
It's not a stereotype if it's the truth.
I mean, it is the truth, but at least give me like some
Benefit
benefit
of
of
the
the doubt. Like,
It's like, I can afford this like €3 coffee.
allow me to act proud a bit. Like, let me just pretend for a minute, you know? But if you want to pay, just go ahead.
Go
And
ahead.
most of the time, people want to pay for me. So,
Okay.
Do you ask like if you're out with somebody? Like, okay, so my question is like, so they choose a place
Yeah.
and they choose a place that's honestly like outside of your budget. Are you just like, you gonna get this?
no, I most of the time I don't ask. If it's outside of my budget, I have to either I say I'm not gonna make it, or I have to fork out the money and pay because I'm going. But most of the time I show up and they want to pay, so if it's fine.
Oh, I would just go for a straight, hey, I can't afford this. And then wait for them to tell me whether they're paying for me or we are going to pick a
Another place.
cheaper place. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
So the last question for this podcast is
No.
yes, unfortunately, we need to.
Bittersweet.
What, according to you, is the best date spot where you'd like to take a date?
Can I answer the opposite? What is the worst place to
Sure.
take a date?
Please feel free.
Okay. A walk along the fucking Seine. You know how many Seine walk dates I've had? It's like
Me too,
it's
sister,
like
me too.
it's like my school's right here. Like, I know what the fucking water looks like. Could we go somewhere else? Like, anywhere else? Please don't take your dates to the Seine. Everybody does that because you all think, oh, the tourists will like it. No, I fucking don't. Also, I've been here on my own without you and had a better time. Please don't do this to me. Also, fucking feed me. There's no restaurants along the Seine. Like, don't do that bullshit.
I still remember my first date in Paris, and we took a walk around the Seine, obviously. And I remember before I went out, Shruti and Adom were sitting with me, and Adom was telling me, like, oh, what if he's a serial killer, and, you know, things
Pushes
like that.
you.
What if he pushes you into the Seine? And I went on that date, and it was the most excruciatingly, painfully boring dates I'd ever been on. I reached a point where I was thinking to myself, I wish he was a serial killer so that I have some drama in my life right now. Like, push me into the sun. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do something. It was crazy. But yeah, worst spot, okay. We get it. What about you, Raven? Best spot.
I like walks along the Seine. I'm so sorry, guys.
This basic ass bitch.
I'm a basic ass bitch. I come from an archipelago. We have a lot of islands, and that's the closest body of water that we have here. So
Right.
But at
I'm
least,
all
like,
for
not
it.
the Seine. Like, there's other canals, like, that are way better.
that are dirtier.
No, some are actually cleaner
Yeah,
than the
some are
Seine.
cleaner than the Seine. Like, at least, like, the original and choose a different spot.
Okay, next time. Different side of the Seine.
What about you, Adam?
Usually I just prefer to talk. So like a quiet place where we can talk, maybe. I'm never
So you
going.
go back to fuck immediately?
Oh, come on, no.
Obviously.
No, come on. You know, I'm the one who's going to edit this, right?
We know.
Okay.
But we want you to listen back and be like, the judgment.
But generally, I prefer places that are quiet, that I can have a conversation with whoever it is that I'm, hanging out with. So maybe like a bar on the terrace, or maybe in a park. There's a lot of parks and gardens in Paris, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's it for me, really.
For
Worst
me,
thing- sorry, go on.
oh, no, sorry, no, you go on.
No, go on. it's fine.
So for me, the best spot would be Pont Neuf, where there's the weeping willow tree, and it's like a tiny little stretch of island in between the water, and you can go sit on the corner there.
Yeah,
Send the link.
that's sad.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's sad.
No.
You watch beautiful sunsets from there.
Go to a good fucking cocktail bar and, like, experience life.
There are bars on rooftops you can watch
Yeah.
sunsets.
Gorgeous.
From there.
But that's the sunset on the water. Water.
True.
Okay,
Water.
but if you go actually over to, I think it's at Sully, Pont Sully, there's a a beautiful building there, and from the top of it, you can see the sun setting behind what is that building that's closed that almost burned down? Fuck, I'm blanking.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. There you go. See,
Send the links to this,
To who?
to the building.
to the location,
She
so that
just
we can
said it.
all try it.
Okay, I'll send you some pictures and we'll include it with this episode.
Okay.
That'll be our helpful tip for everybody
Yeah.
where to go.
Nice and cheap date spots. That should be
Oh,
all.
no, I don't do cheap, sweetie. Mm-mm.
True.
Okay, so for this episode, I think we're gonna add there's like a directory of cheap drink spots and food spots
Yeah,
that
yeah.
our fellow students have made. So I'm gonna link into the podcast description so you can check it out whenever you're free or whenever you want to go out on a date. It's like very cheap drinks, €3, €4, €5 cocktails, and they're really good. So
I'll also include the nicer ones if you get a nice sugar daddy and you want them to take you somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure the sugar daddy has been around long enough to know where to take you.
I mean, I'm just saying, you can put suggestions.
That's
out
a
there.
really good point.
Also, yes, I find all of them like that way.
All right, then. This is it for today. Signing off. This is Anne.
This is Raven.
Tiffany.
Hi, it's Adom again.
This is Coloring Paris. Please come back next week for our next podcast.
Bye.
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 Ooh.